Hello everyone, my name is Miguel Vieza, and in today's show we have Teresa Hargreaves, and she is running for city councilor at Ward 12. And Teresa, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for the introduction, Miguel. Again, my name is Teresa Hargreaves, and I'm running for city council within Ward 12. I got excited and interested in politics through my brother. I've helped him for well over 15 years with his campaign, through door knocking, from delivering flyers to various people, as a scrutineer person, helping him with his signs, and he's been my mentor and inspirational person to me and why I got started in running for city council. And I also felt, digging back more into my roots, being that I'm a fourth generation Calgarian and my son's a fifth, that Calgary just needs to get more energy and vibrancy and a lot more spirit that we always once had. And I felt that has been gone for the last couple of years, and now it's time for us to get excited about living here and being here within Calgary.
Awesome, thank you. What was it like running for the first time as city councilor?
The first time that I ran, it was very interesting, and as I ran against the incumbent Shane Keating, and I learned a lot from the actual experience I had. You have to be dedicated to it and show dedication, and that's why I'm running again, as I am dedicated to the city and I'm dedicated to this ward, as well as this. It's very exciting. I love meeting people. I'm a people person, and I just feel it's time that we as Ward 12 residents have our voices heard and be able to get the needs that we require down here. It's been many, many years as being the fourth person in Mackenzie town that we've been without for a lot of things. It's come a long ways, but I know we can do better, and I want to make it better for our ward.
It's good to hear. What are you doing differently for the second term you're running for?
Well, this time it's different. Number one, our incumbent is retiring, so we do have a more opportunity, being that I did place second last time, that maybe this time I'm going to be first, fingers crossed, and just work hard to get there. We actually, because of COVID, are able to start earlier campaigning and earlier getting things done. Elections, Calgary also had their offices open earlier and spread out more. So that's given us an actual advantage of getting our news, our stories, and meeting people a lot sooner and a lot better for us to get involved and for them to get involved. Well, I did find out too, door knocking the other day as well, is how do you get registered to vote was one of the main questions I had. And I believe you have to go through electionscalgary.ca as well and talk to the people there to get you signed up and on the ballot, or not on the actual voting ballot, but on the registered voting list, so that you can actually go in and vote. So I think that's what we should start with doing as well. Like, if people need help with that, feel free to email me or contact me through my website, and let's get you on the ballot so that you can actually have the right to vote and have your voices heard, and partake. I found too, for some new Canadians, another question that they said to me was, back in their countries, they don't want to vote because they're scared.
Yeah.
Because of the abuse or the corruption that they have, and we're so fortunate here in Canada and in Calgary especially that everyone has the same rights, and we need to encourage people to get out and vote. I think it's very important, of all races and all sexes, to just get out and just get out there and have their voices heard.
Like, some people might have the mentality, oh, it's only one vote, like my vote won't matter, but it does. It really does. Like, one vote, if you can have the mentality, more people will have that. But if you want to vote, then more people will have that same mentality, like, oh, I need to vote because my one vote will do something for that, like the government and like your party. So
exactly. Or just, and luckily in Calgary though, and you brought up a good point there, being a municipality, we do not have any party affiliations, which is nice. I've had quite a few people, again, door knocking, saying, which party do you belong to? We belong to no party. We're neutral. We work for everyone within our ward and within the city. And municipal politics is the hardest politics you can get into and work with, because you live, breathe, and work in the area. And the city of Calgary and the Calgarians and your Ward 12 residents are all part of your big extended family.
Right.
Whereas if I worked in Ottawa or say in Edmonton, my family's here in Calgary. So it's a little bit different. You're away from your family and you're not seeing your neighbors and your family, friends, and your residents within the city. So it's different. You just can't go up and say, hey, Teresa, how's it going in the grocery store?
Yeah.
For example, or at the mall or whatever, or even on the street at an event or something, and have a little chit chat, because you don't have that time with the provincial politics because you're not within the city as
it's
much.
just a wide range.
Or federal, yeah. So this is home, and you want to, it's the hardest because it is home. And it's always hard to keep your home front.
All right, we actually have an audience here who has a question for Teresa.
So, with a first-time voter that hasn't actually voted before, how would you go about doing the research to know which candidate to vote for?
Well, I think you have to go through their websites, look at their platform. Even the City of Calgary actually on their elections.ca website actually has each candidate that they try to do interviews on as well. And within those interviews, part of their platform are ideas and how they speak, how they talk to you, what their speech has to say, and their demeanor and how they actually are, because they're actually filmed and put on the City of Calgary's website as well through YouTube and stuff. So it does really help to do your research that way. And luckily, the City of Calgary does a great job assisting people with that kind of information, as well as each candidate puts up their own social media and also their own websites. And you can get those websites as well through the electionscalgary.ca. And then you just click down at the very bottom, Ward 12, and you can find out who your candidates would be.
Thank you.
All right, where would you vote for like the elections?
Well, that's a good question because I actually met a really nice person in Seton the other day. His name was Lucas, and he asked me, where do I go and vote? So most times you vote within a church or a school or a community center, and they're set up as voting stations. We will be posting on our website, though, as Elections Calgary actually starts advising us where voting stations will be through our website at teresa4ward12.ca. And then we'll post that so that wherever you're the closest within Ward 12, you can go to that station and do that. We do in the city, though, have open voting, early voting, and I believe the University of Calgary is going to have an early voting as well at their campus, because I did hear rumor of that as well. So that will be good. I mean, I voted last time at City Hall, and all you need to do is show a piece of ID, where you live, and tell them exactly what ward you're under, and they'll help you. So if you do happen to be away or going away, you also can do mail ballots as well.
Right.
So my son actually was at university, and he actually had to do a mail ballot.
Oh, okay.
So there's that opportunity as well to do mail ballots and the early voting as well and the early polls.
Like for me, like the first time I tried voting, like I thought you just had to go to the nearest school, but like that wasn't like the case. So like you had to go to like there was a piece of paper, and if you're like in that district and you go to that district, like you just have to ask like a parent or like someone you look up to, and they probably know who to ask. So if you ever like need to know, just ask like an adult, because they probably but likely, but I'm not saying like they know, but yes, just go to like an adult or like a guardian.
Or again, back to the electionscalgary.ca website, that will really help you as well. And we will be posting it as well on our website too for Teresa Forward 12.ca, and it's under our Elections Calgary site tab that we will post that voting stations for you within your ward. So for example, if you're in Mahogany, you might have a certain church that you go to or something, and you can just look it up in Mahogany and find out where your closest voting stations are. And it should also show the early voting stations as well.
Right.
But I know City Hall's one made one for downtown if anyone's ever downtown and wants to vote right away.
Okay. All right, so we have one more question from the audience, and how can we get seniors or people with disabilities to vote?
Well, luckily, again, here in the City of Calgary, we have a lot of opportunities with buses that can come out and help out with things like that, to get them on buses. A lot of the seniors' homes have buses to take them to their nearest voting stations. And a lot of times, even people just driving will come up and pick up a senior or someone with a disability to get them out to the voting station as well. And, you know, I don't have a problem helping with that either, as long as we keep our COVID distance still, because it's still COVID around. And, you know, wear masks or whatever if we have to help them. That would be great, because, again, we want everyone to vote, you know, and have the opportunity to have their voices heard for sure.
Yeah, and like something like their age or like their disability shouldn't like hang them back, because, you know, they still have that right.
Correct, exactly. And we want to make sure that they do get out there.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting speaking to these lovely people. I met a senior just yesterday, and she invited me in for coffee, but unfortunately I had to go and I wasn't able to. And her name was Angie, just a special lady. And she was in a walker and everything. And I said to her, you know, if you need help please feel free to contact me through my website,
Mhm.
and I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever you need so that you can get out and vote, do what you need to do, and have your rights heard. But she politely declined because her daughter just lives right upstairs from her.
Okay.
So she
That
said,
works
my
out.
daughter will help me. But I said, well, if you can't and you need me, please feel free to
Mhm.
call on me because we're here for you as well.
Right, like older like generation, like if you have like any daughters or sons, like you probably help them like get into voting, but like once they get older, it's probably your time to help them. It's like back, like it's vice
giving
versa.
back.
Yeah, giving back.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like just look out for your parents if they want to vote, then help them out. If
Yeah.
the time comes.
And if you need help from our team, we're here for you as well.
Mhm.
Because we can get you out to the voting or find ways, if there's a bus or some kind of service that's available for you, we can definitely help that way as well.
All right, Teresa. So how can people get a hold of you?
If people want to get a hold of me, they can reach me through my website at Teresa, TERESA, forward 12, FORWARD, the number 12.ca. And we're looking for volunteers to help us with either be door knocking, handing out flyers, helping us with events, taking signs, hanging up signs, and looking after signs, or most important, helping seniors and persons with disability get to the voting station so their voices are heard as well, and helping newcomers to feel comfortable within our city and that it's okay to vote, as well as encouraging people who have never voted in their lives before to get out and vote as well, and maybe assist them in any way we can to getting them registered on the voting list as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming to today's show, and this will be our first episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
And thank you very much for having me today.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.